Just north of Checotah, you'll find peaceful and lush rolling hills, like much of this part of Oklahoma. But this land is special. It's hallowed ground.
War is not a pleasant thing, and it's difficult to imagine it happening in such a beautiful place.
This is the Honey Springs battlefield, where thousands of men fought during the Civil War.
You know, a lot of men were injured and died here. It's like visiting a giant cemetery where you're supposed to be in tune with what was given up to be there.
The battlefield is about 5 miles in length, covering roughly 1,100 acres.
We actually came to this part of Oklahoma just to come visit this battlefield.
Jared Fullingham drove here with his son and father from East Texas. 3 generations learning more about their family history.
This was a jumping off place for the Confederate forces.
E.C. Fullingham was in the 29th Texas Cavalry and captured during the battle at Honey Springs.
Where do you think that they might have surrounded him?
E.C. was among 9,000 men who fought here on July 17, 1863. 3,000 Union soldiers were taking on 6,000 Confederates on that warm, rainy Friday. And it was not just white soldiers.
This is one of the, if not the most culturally diverse battles or conflicts to ever take place in the entire Civil War.
Indians from the 5 tribes of Oklahoma fought on both sides. In the middle of it all, the Union Army's 1st Black Regiment.
Many had been former slaves who had run away from Texas, Arkansas, and Missouri.
Take a self-guided tour on the 6 trails, or request a historian to come along. A good place to start is at the all-new Visitor Center.
The dream has always been to have a visitor center such as we're in today, full of local artifacts discovered here as well as period pieces.
Logan Sharp and his group, Friends of Honey Springs Battlefield, have spent decades preserving this site. The new center houses finds from past archaeological digs, as well as wagons and weapons. One room showcases a couple of cannons, surrounded by Indian history.
Not only does this tell the story of the Civil War in Indian Territory, the results of the Civil War in Indian Territory led to the formation of our state.
If you're interested at all in the Cherokee history, which I have been and have studied some of it, it's very interesting to come out and see what this is. I mean, it's very informative how it all came about.
Mark your calendar for the biannual reenactment, where you'll see the Confederate armies fall. They may have had more soldiers that day, but they also had wet gunpowder, and the Union Army had more cannons.
The Confederates never again mounted a challenge in Oklahoma or Indian Territory as it was then.
At the Honey Springs Battlefield, I'm Jason Grubbs for Discover Oklahoma.